So, 8 o'clock, let's get started. As ever, we'll get started bang on the button. No slideshows today, no presentation as such to talk about. But what we do have is, talking to Simon just before this call started, we were expecting, as I said, to have Joe Gomez on to continue with the training that he's been doing for the last few weeks. But Joe, sadly, is at hospital, some sort of emergency. I don't really know whether it's to do with Joe personally or a family member, and we do know that when we were on last week's call with him, there was something he held on last week, staggeringly he held on, because there'd been some kind of shooting locally, and it affected a school that one of the family went to, so crazy things happening over there. So because we don't have Joe, Simon and I wanted to take the opportunity to talk to you about something that's become very, very important to us over the last few weeks, and that's the Winner's Circle. And the Winner's Circle, if you're not aware, the Winner's Circle is the trading group that we started 11 days ago now. And I haven't got everyone, I've only got a few of you on right now. Is there anyone who's actually on the call who isn't part of the Winner's Circle? There's a couple of people that I'm not sure of. So, okay. Can't tell from screens. So, whose phone's unmuted? Right, okay. Can't tell from there, so okay. Right. I think most of the people who are on here maybe part of the Winner's Circle. If you're not part of the Winner's Circle, and I know that Amrit's just come on, Amrit's just joined us on the Winner's Circle today. How you doing, mate? Good to see you again. The Winner's Circle has been doing phenomenally well for us. It's now just 3 weeks today since Simon and I first decided on the trading strategy that we were using and how we were going to start sending signals between ourselves, first of all, to test it. 3 weeks on, we've now placed 70 winning trades in a row. We have not lost a single trade in 70 trades. We opened it up to the rest of the group, not this Monday gone, but the previous Monday. And there are guys on here who can testify just how much money they've been making with these trades and how well they've been done. And we did a call last night with Brandon Boyd, which was our normal Wednesday night presentation call. When we did the call with Brandon, we were talking about all the results that people were getting there. And I had a few people giving us testimonials and saying how many trades they'd been placing and how many successes they'd had. And the stories, Stevie gave us a story last night, and it was 26 consecutive wins. Eunice came on from London, 21 consecutive wins, nobody having any losses whatsoever. Last weekend, we asked people who'd completed their first week with the Winner's Circle to send us just a few words about what the response they'd had and how they'd done with it. And I was getting messages from all over the place. People saying they'd started with a £200 account and they've made £87 in their first week. People starting with a £200 account, so they managed to catch every trade. They made £130 in their first week. We had some people who were starting with bigger accounts, and they made, I think the biggest result that I saw last week was one person who made £1,300 last week from the signals that we sent out, which is actually more than I made personally. So they were placing bigger lot sizes than me, and they actually made more than £1,300 from it. Myself, in the space of 3 weeks, my account has grown from £1,800 to £4,600. 250% increase in just 3 weeks. And so much so that I actually got a phone call from Brandon yesterday, and Brandon was saying to me, I'm getting messages from all over the place about the results you guys are getting, and you're not losing any trades. What are you doing? And when I told him what we were doing, he sort of chuckled and he said, that's so funny because I used to do exactly the same thing, but I haven't been trading like that. I don't know why I moved away from it, but I started doing other things with other people. So I win most of my trades, but I don't win all of them because I'm not doing what you guys are doing. Now, most of you guys know exactly what it is that we are doing. And today's trading has been quiet. The markets this week, in fact, have been up and down. We had a slow Monday. We had a busier Tuesday. We had a great day yesterday. And we've had a slow day today. And in fact, a message came out from both Brandon and Jordan an hour ago, an hour and a half ago, saying that they weren't sending any more signals because the market is consolidating. They're going to let the market settle over the space of the next couple of hours and just get back on an even keel and pull some of the trades back that we've got, because we've all got trades running. We're just going to wait for those to come back to profits before we decide to send any more alerts out. One thing that Simon and I are both extremely conscious of when we started sending these signals out, he flashed on and disappeared again then. Oh, there he's over there. How you doing, mate? Let's just unmute you. So one thing that we were both extremely conscious of was making sure when we sent these trades out, we were conscious of the fact that we're not spending your money, but we're kind of playing with your money because we're advising you where to put that money. And I've got to be honest with you, it was scary as hell last Monday when we first sent the first signals out and some of you guys went out. And last Monday, not this Monday gone, but the Monday before, was a quiet Monday to start off with. And we're sort of 6 hours in and we hadn't seen a win. And I'm going, oh, Jesus, we were making fortunes last week. What's happened? And it got a bit scary for us. But it came right and it came good and people were making good money. And the same thing has happened throughout this week. Now, right now is a good time, because Joe couldn't be with us, right now is a good time for us to consolidate what we've been saying. And I've been sending messages in this group throughout the week when it's been quiet. I've been sending little messages letting you know what's happening and why you're not seeing trades and why things aren't moving. So I wanted to take this opportunity just to cover that, because Simon, you'll back me up with this. We've seen periods where the markets go flat, where they're actually going sideways rather than going up or down. They're just going sideways. And
mine was going really down. There was one occasion I was losing 3/4 of my funds in the account, and I was pulling my hair out, and I was thinking, I'm going to have to put more money in. I'm going to have to deposit more money, otherwise I'm going to be blown out. Then all of a sudden, I go and make thousands. It was just insane.
That was yesterday.
The interesting thing is I was talking to Roger earlier on. Well, I speak to Roger about 20 or 30 times a day, but I was speaking to him before. Going back 20 years ago, I used to trade shares on the internet. But the problem is, if you was, let's say if you long or short the shares, let's say if you short, pick one, let's say
just say buy or sell so that people understand what you're talking about.
Okay, right. I was with a company, it was all to do with spread betting. And if you was to short a stock, let's say if it was Heinz or whatever, you don't know if that goes down or if it goes up. You don't know if it's going to come back again. You don't know if it's going to come down. With Forex, if you're going to be shorting or buying pairs, you know what goes up has to come down, has to. It can never, ever, ever keep going up and up and up and up and up. It was just would defy, you know, the system. It just wouldn't happen. Your dollar would be at a different rate. Your pound would be at a totally different rate. Just wouldn't happen. So trading Forex, you know you're pretty safe. And Roger and I, before we choose a trade, send a trade out and do a trade, we always turn around and say, would you, could you, would you, would you, would you? And if we both agree it's in the right position, then we do it. But we take the trades ourselves. So we don't expect you to do the trades if we don't take them. So yeah. Yeah.
And that sort of, the double of that, of course, is that if I think something's going to go and Simon disagrees, then we don't call it. And if Simon thinks it's going to go and I disagree, we don't call it.
Yeah.
So I'll trust my own instincts and I'll place my trade myself, but I'm not going to call it for you guys unless we both agree. Because as far as we're concerned, we want to make sure that we're giving you something that's working, and it clearly is working. Now, as I said,
don't forget, can I put an add on? This is just an idea. We're not financial experts. We're not the people that are the holy schmoly and say, this is definitely going to make money for you. No. This is just an idea. It's just what we think we're prepared to back. So, yeah.
And again, as Simon said, we do back it with our own money. Unfortunately, because we've been doing it, we're sort of a couple of weeks ahead of you with this. So we're doing it with more money because we've got a couple of weeks of building our funds up to do it. So we're placing more on each trade than most of you are. So we really are putting our money where our mouth is with it.
Mm-hmm.
But the important thing out of what Simon said is that cycle, that up and down cycle, because if you go into MT4 on your phone and if you go to charts, and it doesn't matter which currency you choose, pick any chart whatsoever and just look at a pair and look at the currency. And you've got the top half of your chart where it has the candles that go up and down, and the bottom half is an indicator. What you should do is pinch that screen in as tightly as you can, and you will see this waveform going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, every single currency. And that's the strength of what we're doing right now, because what we're trying to do is catch a trade at the bottom and we'll buy it when it's going up, or we'll catch a trade at the top and we'll buy it when it's going down. Now, sometimes a trade will change. We'll sell it. Yeah. So sometimes a trade will change direction halfway down, and that's when it starts to go against us. But because we're not placing a stop loss with it, we can't lose. If we had stop losses on and it didn't reach its price and they then started to go the other way, the brokers would kick us out of it and they would take our money. They can't do it. There is one way they could take us out, and that's if you place too many trades. If you get greedy and you place every single signal that we send you, you could overexpose yourself. And we don't want anyone to do that. So that's why we limit the number of signals that we call, because from IM, we probably see 30, 40 signals a day. They've been coming through thick and fast today, but there haven't been trades that we've both been happy with. And we won't send them through like that, because if you overexpose your account, you could lose. And again, Simon said to me earlier on today, what happened if we got it wrong and somebody sort of blew their account? Well, the good news is that if one person, for someone to blow their account, it would actually have to happen for each and every one of us. We have a double check in there. So it can't happen because we're making sure of it and we're protecting your account by protecting our own accounts. But nonetheless, it's a concern for us. But what we do, the only way it could happen would be if someone didn't follow the system. And that will be if they went ahead and placed too many trades. And that's why we said we want to make sure that we tell everyone to be very careful. And I put a limit and I say no more than 5 trades. And whenever you see any screenshots that I put out in the winner's circle, or even on the Facebook group when I'm putting my trades on, there's never more than 5 trades in a row that are currently running. You may sometimes see 7 wins in a day, but that's because we've taken a win, closed it, gone into another one, and we've had a good day. But in the main, what you're seeing is 4 and 5 a day, because that's what we're working with, a maximum of 5. And the key is not to get too greedy with it. Compound it, let it grow, let it run. So this isn't a question of start trading today and then taking money out on Friday. You're never going to make any major progress that way. Personally, we were talking about this yesterday, and I was saying to Simon, I don't have any plans to withdraw any money from my account before, in my mind, February is about the right time for me. I reckon by February, I'll be able to start taking a comfortable weekly 4-figure number out of my account.
My goal is to get up to be trading £10 a point.
Yeah, and the rest.
Okay, 20 or £30 a point. Because the more you do a point, the more money you will make.
Yeah.
But it's like you could be in for a few seconds and think, oh, I've just made £500. Click, out you come. Or you could leave it in and think, oh, I've made 2 or 3 or 4,000. That's where the real money comes. But it's all about compounding.
Absolutely. But Simon is the only person I know that has a dictionary that had the word enough removed from it. But the fact is, I reckon even starting with a modest account, even starting, if some of the guys starting today with a couple of £100 will be in a position by February to start pulling hundreds a week out every single week by February, and you'll have you'll be, you know, keep compounding it, let it grow, and start by February. When I say taking hundreds out a week, what I'm talking about is taking half of your weekly profit out and leaving half in, so your account continues to grow, which means every week becomes a better week than the previous one. And that's really what we're at. And I really do see that we have a way of creating substantial wealth for us. And I've got to be honest with you guys, I've sat down and I've gone through spreadsheets looking at all the possible permutations. I am not going to tell you the numbers because they're positively frightening about just how much money you can make with this. We did this a year ago where we talked about compound calculators with potentials. I'm not going to make any kind of promises for you. What I can tell you is what we will do is we will continue sending these signals out, and we will continue to make sure that these signals are the best that we can get, and they will continue growing. As I said, we will have some quiet days. Like today has been a quiet day for trading. But the good news is the trades that we have in are still just waiting for profit to mature. So all that we're doing is banking profits for tomorrow and the day after. Because the good news is, and I heard Brandon say this on a call a couple of weeks ago, Brandon said we may have losing days, but we don't have losing weeks. Well, that's not the system, not the case anymore as far as we're concerned. We don't have losing days, not ever. We do not have losing days. We may have quiet days, but we'll never have losing days. And Simon, should we ask some people to see what their results have been?
Before we do, the key factor to this whole process, in my opinion, and bearing in mind I've been doing networking for 32 years, is to use your results to get other people to join. It is a massive opportunity tool that no other company has got. You couldn't get a company doing pills, potions, lotions, tablets, skincare, face cream, whatever, to say, oh, look at this product. It's helped me lose 3 stone. Really? From which fingernail? It's like the results we've got are actual physical results on our phones that we can show people. So when you're out for coffee, when you're out for a drink, when you're out for a meal, you can use that and show your results to people. And that is the key deal. That is the most important factor, and build your business. So if you get your 2 people, then that will save you $164 a month. That's a chunk of money, because that $164, if you think you're paying that, put that into your trading account. You're not paying it out. But the benefit is use this business model, use this program to build your center of influence. With everybody that I know that I get their WhatsApp number, I save, I've got a WhatsApp, an IM prospects list, and it's all the WhatsApp numbers of all the people that I've got. And I've got in there hundreds of people. And that's why I recruit every day or every other day. I always recruit one person through sending results out to that group. So it is all about prospecting. It is all about recruiting.
And it does have to be said when it comes to that. You know that I've been sharing my results on Facebook for the last 3 weeks now. And the number of people that I now have coming to me who are asking me how they can get started. I'm not pitching people. I'm not going through the presentation and telling them about it. They're coming to me and asking me, can they get started? And if you've been on these calls for the last few weeks when we've had Joe doing them, Joe talks about having your 10 in players. So you've always got these prospects on the run. They're actually growing for me. The people are coming for me rather than me going looking for them. And I know that Simon and I were already having conversations again today, talking about how many prospects I'm expecting that will be new people in the team over the next couple of days and throughout next week. People are just getting so excited about it. I've got one guy who's actually been across to his bank to get a business overdraft so that he has a decent amount of money to start trading with. And I'm like, whoa, okay, but actually a smart decision to make, because financially, the worst result that I saw from anyone last week was about 35% growth. So 35% interest on the money, as opposed to a business overdraft at 2% a month. Financially, it's a smart move on the basis that you can't lose. But I'm not going out promoting. I mean, Joe said that last week and talked about people going out and loading credit cards. So we're not suggesting that you go out and do that. People have their own choice on what they're going to do. The fact is, what we do have is a system that works. So let's just ask.
Then you got Eunice that was on the call last night. She took her account from 1,000 to 1,700. That's a 700% increase.
It's not 7. She said that last night. That's 70%. She said 7. She said 700%. I'm going like, how the hell did you do that?
70%. Yeah.
Brandon was saying she can come and work for me. She can manage my account.
No. Yeah, but 70%. Nevertheless, 70%, and that's literally in about a week.
70% is better than I did last week. 70% is huge. It's just tremendous, and we're getting all those stories from different people. Stevie, I can't tell if Stevie's driving or not. So, Stephen Ball, can you unmute yourself for a minute? Better still, I'll unmute you. No, can't seem to unmute him. There we go, Stephen.
Good evening, Roger.
How you doing, mate?
Good.
Good. Steve, you were busy last night. You couldn't get on last night. Do you want to tell people just how you've done with the signals that we've sent out in the last 10, 11 days?
Very well. Just very, very quickly. When Simon invited myself and Leslie up to the new premises, Formby, I knew it was going to be good anyway, because Simon and Julie were very excited. We went up on a Wednesday. We had an idea exactly what it was about really anyway, because I looked at this particular company over 2 years ago. So we went up, had a look, and my concern out of the gate, being a general builder, that I'm usually on roofs, I'm usually using grinders, drills. I'm not going to be able to hear or see the signals, get the signals on. But what I noticed over the last 2 weeks was I actually want to do this to retire from the building trade after being in the building trade for 35 years. I made it work for me. I probably only, the last 2 weeks on the 11th, I probably missed 2 trades purely because I was on top of a roof, pointing a chimney breast, and I couldn't really do anything else. I had a pointed trowel in one hand and a hawk full of sand in the other. But I managed to get at least 98% trades on. My account from £1,000 over the last 2 weeks. From yesterday, I still have 3 in the red. Roger, can I say a figure, or does it have to be a percentage?
No, you can say a figure on this one.
From yesterday, my account stands in profit 767.93. Now I'm sharing an account with Leslie. Leslie did extremely well out of the gate. She just sussed it, and her account stands profit-wise 958.65.
Happy days.
We've had a good talk about it, and Leslie's looking to retire me probably the first quarter of next year from the building. I think it's tremendous. It's because of you guys coming forward and what you've been doing. It was a little bit complicated for me when I first started, I couldn't even see where the stop loss was and where to put it. Then we had a chat and you simplified it, and I thought, if I can do this, even as a general builder, anybody can. You know, if you want to fit it in, you're going to hear the vibration in your pocket, take your phone out, a couple of seconds, place the trade, you know, and then just keep an eye on it every 15, 20 minutes. It's a no-brainer for me, really.
Fabulous. Do you think that's why they called it vibrator?
Absolutely. I'm going to get two phones in two different pockets. Yeah. So yeah,
he's getting excited for different reasons now.
Yeah.
Hats off to yourself, guys. This is, after 30 years in the industry of network marketing, I feel this is something. I just feel really good talking to people about this. It really is good.
All right.
Good on you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for that.
Brilliant, Steve. Thanks for that. Anyone else want to tell us what kind of results they've had over the space of the last couple of weeks? Give us a wave. And God, everybody's going shy, aren't they? Amazing, isn't it?
While they're all thinking about it, let's just tell you a couple of things that's coming up. Interesting, next Wednesday, we're going to have an event at my house. And what we will be talking about, we will be doing the presentation that Brandon will do, but then we're going to some training on the basis of how this actual system works, how you can make it work for yourself. If you've got any questions about trading or how to take the profits or whatever, that's where you can ask those questions. But the most important thing is, if you know you're going to be coming, and I know there's a few of you in different countries and you won't be coming, that's fine, but bring some people with you. Then the next two other events is in February, we've got the convention, the international convention with the company that's going to be in London. And they guesstimate between 10 to 20,000 in attendance. Guys, this will be the biggest event you'll ever attend. It will be phenomenal. And you need, whether you've got open heart surgery or whatever, cancel it. It's really, really important to go. Me, Roger, Cello, and a few others have booked our ticket straight off the bat. So before it gets sold out, get your tickets there if you want to be committed with this business. Then the last event I want to tell you about is an event that I had at the weekend, which was the Success Summit 3. I'm just looking on here. There's two people on this Zoom that was at the event. One of the guys is one of the main guys who helps organize all the other helpers.
Go on, Tez.
So you can see the person that actually organizes that event is this guy here.
Oh, hey, guys.
So
Hey, Fraser.
that's my son Fraser, yeah. So
Hey, Sam. Good to see you, mate.
so
We're going to win the league. We're going to win the league. There we go.
anyway, so yeah, the Success Summit 4 is going to be in December. And I so urge any of you, if you want a ticket.
Next year.
I was just going to say that. Make sure people understand it's next year.
Yeah. If you want a ticket, I know Tez, put your hands up if you still got some tickets, Tez.
He's got none. He already got rid of them.
Say yes, you've got some tickets. Tez, have you not got any tickets?
There you go.
Can't hear you, Tez.
We've can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
We've literally just sold the 25 that we was today. Within the last hour, they've all gone. But if there was enough people that was interested, then I'm sure we could, see if we can do another bulk buy or something and get a deal from.
I would urge you, no matter where you are in the world, there was people from 32 countries that was at this place. It was rocking. And I know where it's going to be next time, which is in the Metropole Hotel in Birmingham, which is an amazing event. So you will drive there, park your car, go into the venue, you got the overnight accommodation and everything else, and you don't come out of the venue. It is phenomenal. So, and it's going to link up with a Christmas party as well. So we're going to have massive fun. But the speakers that come from all over the world, The content that they deliver, you'll be astounded at. So I would recommend any of you, if you can get hold of one of these tickets, get one. It will be the all singing, dancing thing.
Okay.
You know, the last one, there was like 1,500 people to. 1,500. The next one, there's going to be more than that. There's people from the Philippines, from New Zealand. This is on our doorstep. This is in the UK. It's crazy. I would say get there. Anyway, Roger, they're the three events that I was.
Okay. Well, I've got Donovan's got the hand raised. So Donovan, Lisa, you have something you wanted to say to us?
Put your camera on.
Yes, you can see us.
I certainly can.
Before you say anything, folks, this person, listen to how he speaks. Donovan and Lisa, they're from, I think it's from Trinidad or Tobago. I love
and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago.
And Tobago, they're twin islands.
There you go. Their accent, I love. I could listen to it all day long. Anyway, Donovan, over to you, mate.
All right. Special greetings to each and everyone. Hey, Fraser, what's up? Hope all is good. Yes, you know what? I'm really glad Simon really introduced us back to IM. We was in IM before, but I'm glad we came back with Simon because, you know, Simon for over 10 years now since we was living in Bristol in 2009 when they first started off. And you know what? It's actually the sixth trading day since we with IM, and we have grown our account to over 75%.
Wow.
75%, yeah. So it's phenomenal, and we love how Simon and Roger comes together to bring the solution to actually create, you know, for signals. It's like a helping hand, and this was the missing key prior to when we was there at first, because this is taking somebody by the hand and actually holding them while they're learning. And Lisa and I gladly appreciate that, and we could actually, it's the first time now we can actually see great things happening, you know, and we're looking forward to grow and compound that account. And yes, and this is my wife who suggested that, you know what, when we get back into IM, let's go with Simon, you know. Yeah, as we know him and Fraser, you know, and the previous experience, and we're glad we really made that decision.
You know your wife's never going to let you forget that, don't you?
No,
That was my idea, that.
Time to make the money.
Okay, thank you for that, guys. Okay. Guys, we wanted to show you that this is something that's working. Sab, you're waving. Are you trying to say something?
Can you put me on?
You're on. Go ahead.
We can hear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Yeah, just a quickie. I've been hearing some fantastic results. Obviously, the 700% frightened me to death. Now I realise it's 70 because it was impossible. My situation is slightly smaller because I was quite cautious, and I suppose I think my sort of growth is 25% because maybe I was coming out of the blues a little too early.
Yeah, possibly.
And what's your thought on that?
I've got to be honest with you. Any profit is better than no profit, as far as I'm concerned. So if you're coming out of it early, as long as you're coming out in profit, the one thing that I would say is for people when we first started doing this, you see a lot of red, and you see a lot of red for a lot of the day.
Yeah,
and it can be nerve-wracking to see trades in red hour after hour after hour. But the fact is, and this is what Simon and I were trying to emphasize before, about the cyclic nature of things. They go up, they come down.
well, that was very encouraging.
In the first instance, it's scary when you see red and you see a minus there, and it can show you, I mean, as we came on in my account, I think mine was showing sorts of minus 1,200 quid, something like that for the day.
Yeah.
And 3 weeks ago, minus 1,200 quid, I'd been having kittens. Yeah. But right now, I'm used to it. I'm seeing it. It's not a problem because I'm actually plus 3 grand. So who the hell cares about minus 1,200 quid? I know it's going to come back. So I can understand you in the first instance thinking, okay, I've seen some blue, I'm going to take it, I'm going to take the profit whilst it's there.
Yeah.
I would say hold for whatever target, and we give you that chart that tells
Yes.
you what you would expect to get given the lot size that you're putting on. And the targets that I put are careful targets. I don't want to tell people to hold on for too much money. I want people to get whatever they can get when it's there. But the target's there for a reason. So if you want to come out, if a trade has been in red for hours and hours and hours and it's just crept its way back to blue, well, then I would just take it. But if it's just gone in straight as blue, then I wouldn't take my profit 10 minutes later and wait for it to go more.
Okay, I have a question for you, which is a scenario. I think occasionally you've put on an opportunity quite late in the day, okay?
Yep.
So you click that. Now, then when I look at it in the morning, you have said, I've taken profit of whatever, 100 quid, whatever it was, at 10 to 1, right?
Yep.
Now, I'm well asleep by then. So, okay.
I'll phone you and tell you.
So, when I wake, I'm thinking, oh God, now that could be in the red by then.
Yeah, don't worry
So
about
what's your advice?
Don't worry about it. My advice remains the same on every single trade. If you miss the profit, don't worry, it will come back again.
Come back, okay.
Just
So
don't,
that's the first one,
just
because
don't
I got
panic
quite
about it.
worried.
Yeah.
I got quite worried on that one.
Yeah. No, it does come back. Okay, Tez,
Yeah.
Tez has got something. Tez, go ahead, Tez.
All right, guys. I just thought I'd say if any of you are at a computer, laptop, or anything like that when you've got your MetaTrader 4 open, I know a lot of us use our phones, and you can't do this on the phone. You can only do it if you're actually at your computer or laptop. But there is a really good way if you see your trade going into the blue. Myself personally, I've been coming out mostly at Roger's chart. So as soon as Roger's chart has shown me that my take profit for that trade has reached, say it's £10. So say it's reached my £10. Most of the time I've pulled it out, and I thought I'm happy because I've took my profit, I've took my amount that I'm supposed to take for that trade, so I'm quite happy with it. But if you're actually watching it and you buy your laptop or you buy your computer, if it's going over in the blue and you're actually making that bit of extra cash and you're just thinking, what if it just shoots back or something and I'm going to lose it? You can always set what's called a trailing stop loss. And it's so easy. Roger could probably do a little video for you, or I can. And it's just a little click of a button, set a 15-point trailing stop loss, and what it does, it just follows the trade. So if it keeps going and going and going, and it keeps going in blue, it will just keep making you profit, and it will just follow it by 1.5 pips. So it will basically just sit behind the profit each time, and then as soon as it just drops back 1.5 pips, it will cut you out the trade. So you can literally follow it. If you get a good spike, you can make a lot of money on it. And it's like, it's a really good thing to get into just once you've made your profit and you've reached that profit, what's on that on Roger's chart. And then you're not there just thinking, oh, should I pull it or anything? It might come back and take you out anyway. And you've already got your profit, which is brilliant anyway. And then it could carry on and carry on. Well, once you're out, just stay out, because it's like, it's too easy to jump in and then lose money. So,
little by little, we'll do things like that. But right now, what I really wanted with you, the fact that we're sending these signals out and just saying buy and sell, we're trying not to get too complex on these. But Tez is absolutely right, and we will do videos just like the one that Tez has just suggested. So because this is a learning process, and it's about you learning more as you go along. There's no reason why 6 months from now you should actually need to be in this group to trade. You should be able to look and see these trades for yourself. This is getting you that fast start and getting the education. But we're always going to be there to fall back on anyway, and hopefully we're creating a real community anyway. So that's what we're going to do. Gabbo, you had your hand up a second ago. Is there something you wanted to ask? Do you want to put your camera on?
Yeah, yes, hold on one second. Hi, everyone. What I wanted to mention is that what I do, because I need some CPU here and there occasionally, is when I set up the trade, I do not put in a stop loss, but I do put in a 10 pip take profit. 10 pips is approximately what the chart recommends if I translate those dollar figures into pips.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when I wake up in the morning, I see that my trade has hit 10 pips. I cashed out my $4 or $5 that corresponds to the 200 something dollars I have in the account.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't have to worry that I'm going to miss my take profit. If someone knows how to, you know, put in a take profit.
Absolutely. And again, same comment. We'll teach you how to do those things bit by bit. But for the people who are brand new, thanks for that, Gabor, incidentally. But for the people who are brand new to trading, we can get you started without needing to know those things, and that's what we're going to do. Now, I think it's time for us to wrap this up, Simon. But we're actually going to do a call. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, which will be the last Sunday of the month. And we're going to do it, that will be for Winners Circle members only. So to get the link, you'll have to be in the winning circle, in the Winners Circle. But to get that call is going to be really getting everybody together and find out exactly how everyone has done and compare notes, compare results, and see how you found the system. We've heard very, very positive feedback so far tonight, but we're going to find out exactly how you found the system, and we're going to just sort of get everyone together. We'll see if there's anything that we can do to improve things. Short of getting Boris to open his mouth and say something stupid right now today, then I think we're done for today. But either Boris or Trump saying something stupid will be
What
used.
Roger and I were saying was it would be nice if everybody in the group could add up how much money they've made in this month. We said, wouldn't it be great if we could hit several £1,000 profit?
That's for this week, not this month. We hit more than $2,000 last week in the first week.
Yeah, I was thinking for the month it would be great if you could add
I
it
was
all
thinking
up.
I'd like to see like $20,000 plus. I don't see why that can't be done.
Could you imagine that as a recruitment tool to your prospects? I'm in a group where our group made 20 grand last month. Just trading. We don't lose trades. Could you imagine saying those words to your guests, to your prospects? They'd be all over it like a rash. They really would.
And what I would say is, Simon said before about next Wednesday at Simon's house. For the guys who saw the original presentation for the Winners Circle, when I did it live on a Zoom the other Sunday, we're actually going to do it live at Simon's house next Wednesday. If you have prospects, bring your prospects with you. Because honestly, if you bring prospects to Simon's house, they watch Brandon do the presentation. We'll have some testimonials on the presentation. Then I'll explain the Winners Circle and I'll show them exactly how it's going to work. We'll have some of these guys actually in the room giving their story face to face. Cello's getting results, Steve's getting results, Sab's getting results. We'll have people in the room giving the testimonials to your prospects. Then we can tell them before they walk out the door, we can sign them up. We'll set up MC4 on the phone for them before they walk out the door. We'll put them in the WhatsApp group. The next day, they can be making profit. If you have a prospect who is halfway serious about making money, I promise you, they will sign up at that. If they don't sign up at that, they're just not serious. Because we have the proof. We've got all the proof and all of the support for them. They know that they're not on their own. And these guys know that they're not on their own with it. You know, where I get messages from everybody individually, as well as what we see, what we do collectively, but I'm getting messages individually. Simon's getting messages individually. We're helping to do everything that we can. So get people across to Simon's. The very last thing before we wrap it up is next Monday, Brandon Boyd asked me if he can do a special training, and he said, first he said he wanted to do it every other week, and now I don't know whether he's thinking of every week or every other week, but certainly next Monday is going to be the first one. Brandon's doing a special training event for us on Monday night at 8 o'clock, and he said, what do we think would be the most beneficial for the first training? And given that Brandon has a ludicrous number of followers on social media, and that he's sponsoring an average of one person a day for the last 4 years on social media, I figured I needed to know what he was talking about. So that's what he's going to talk about. So he's going to tell us how to spread this news on social media. And I've got to be honest with you, I said before that people are coming to me right now and asking me if they can sign up with the company. And that's because of me sharing things on social media. But I want to get better at it, and I want to know more about it. So Brandon's going to tell us that. I will post the link for that probably tomorrow morning, and that way you'll have all of that for Monday and do that as well. So that's it for now.
What about being the hunted, not the hunter? That's the crucial factor. Get people to come to you, not you go to people.
And we've done 2 years of us going out there trying to hunt people, but right now people are starting to pay attention and they're starting to come to us. And you're talking from a completely different point of view when people come to you and ask you how they can join. I've got people who are just getting things in place right now, and they're excited about wanting to get started, rather than me trying to twist their arm and get them to just make their mind up right now. So
just think about everybody that's in your team, what their Christmas will be like. If they really get to grips with this, that could be magical, absolutely magical. And if not this year, just imagine what next year's Christmas will be like. Oh, could you imagine compounding your profits? That's the key deal. That is the key deal. Yeah.
Simon and I have already decided what cars we're going to the next major event at. So we already know what we're going down in. So
Angela, before we go, can you let Mark know to be here next Wednesday? That'd be great.
At Simon's house, not
in my house.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So if no one has any questions, we will wrap it up, and we will see you next Monday on the call with Brandon. But I'll be in touch with everybody possibly later on tonight, but definitely tomorrow with more trades and more profits. And have a good weekend, everybody. See you all. Bye.
All the best. Bye-bye.